Hi, saying goodbye for me is one of the most difficult things to do. It's so painful, it feels so final, and it really just makes me want to avoid it. Don't want to deal with it at all. But if you don't say goodbye, if we don't say goodbye to an ex and to that relationship, we're going to be stuck forever nursing a wound. So I'm going to give you a writing exercise that you can do if you feel you're in a place to do so. That's going to help you get to a place where you can say goodbye. Hi, my name is Olivia, and I am passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can heal and grow and move on with your life. So today, everything is coming from my book. I can't believe how much this hurts. I'll put a QR code on the screen, and also I will put the description, in the description, a link for the book. So saying goodbye, it does feel so final. And I heard once someone say that when we don't really ever get over a loss, you just learn to make room for it. And it's really hard because you think like, well, I don't want to keep accumulating losses. I don't want to have this big space in me of all the stuff that I don't have anymore, all the relationships I don't have anymore. So if we get better at deciding who we're going to let in our life, then we're going to have to suffer less loss. So that's kind of a different conversation, but just keeping that in mind, because losses are not something you just get over. It's not something you just like, well, that was terrible, see you later. You're going to be dealing with that loss for a period of time. So here is the deal. If we don't accept that loss, learn to say goodbye, actually say goodbye, do all those things, you're going to be stuck nursing that wound. And when you nurse a wound, you don't really, if you're like too protective of the wound, it's never going to heal. It's just like when you get a scab, if you always keep it covered, if you always keep that neosporin on it, if you never let it get exposed to air, if you never expose it to the light, right? All those things that help it to heal. If you don't do that, it's just going to fester. It can grow. It can lead to something worse. It's not meant to always be protected if you truly want to heal it, or you're going to heal, if you break your arm and you never do the exercises and you're always just keeping it bent, it's going to heal bent and it's going to limit you. It's the same with our emotional wounds. You can't have a wound that eventually you don't end up protecting because you're going to be tired of it getting hurt, right? It's just like if I hurt my arm and people keep bumping into me, eventually I'm going to have a lot of behavior over moving my arm and protecting it so that it doesn't get bumped, because when it's bumped, it hurts. It's the same with emotion. Eventually, I'm going to develop a bunch of behavior around that emotional wound because I'm tired of it getting bumped and hurting. And now I got all these behaviors and now I got to do all this protecting. And now I'm not the same as when I was just free of this wound. So it's important to look at it and be able to say goodbye and be able to move through that. There is a writing prompt that I'm going to walk you through on page 29. Again, this is not therapy, so only do this if you feel you're in a place to do so. If you're not in a place to do so, or if you start doing it and it's too much, then stop the video, don't read the book, and seek help from a local professional in your area, because you deserve to get the help you need. But if you feel you're in a good space where you could do a writing exercise, you're just sad, but you're feeling like, yeah, I'm still getting on with my life and it's not gonna totally tank me to do so, then here is an exercise that can help you. This is actually a goodbye letter to your ex. This is not a letter you're going to mail to them, read to them, show to them. You're not doing any of those things. When you're done, you're going to dispose of it however you want to, whether you shred it, burn it if you safely do so. You may just, put it in your trash. You might soak it in water so all the ink disperses and then, get rid of it that way. So however you want to destroy the letter, this is not, again, something you're going to give to your ex. This is just for you. It's not for them. It's for you. It's for your own healing. So the first part is where you're going to say, dear, whoever your ex's name is. So it's dear, whoever that person is, writing this letter to say goodbye and to let you go. So you can already tell it's really hard to let go. It's really hard to say goodbye. And part of that, if you're not ready to face that part, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to do it today. This is just for when you're ready, because it is very hard. We don't want to let go. Sometimes we're not ready to heal and move on. We're not ready. We're not done with it yet. We're not done with the pain yet, which sounds kind of weird, because why would you not be done with pain? But, sometimes that hurt helps us feel closer to them. We get to feel like they're still a part of us somehow. But I think For most people, you get to a place where you're sick of it. You're sick of hurting. You don't want to have a part in it anymore. You really want to move on and let go. Then this would be the letter for you. So, goodbye and let you go. With this letter, I release you from past expectations. Sometimes that is the hardest part to let go of, is we're still hung up on how they failed us, how they didn't meet those expectations. But this letter today is about, you know what? I'm releasing you from those past failed expectations, from the disappointments and from the hurts, right? I'm letting you off the hook for all of that. I don't want it anymore. Before I say goodbye, there's a few things I'd like you to know. So this is like the beginning of the letter, and you could actually start your letter any way you want to. That is just an example that you could totally use if you wanted to. But here is where the writing prompts come in. So this is where I would read this part of it and you would fill in the rest of the sentence. So the first one is, I was hurt because. So you're just going to write all the reasons why you were hurt. What about what you just went through hurt you? Next one, I was sad because. What made you sad while you were going through it? What are some of the key parts that made you sad? Next one, I was disappointed because. So this is where you're just going to talk about, these are all the ways you basically let me down. These are all the ways that I was disappointed. I started with so much hope. It ended with so much hurt. I had so much that I wanted from you. These were all the things you never gave me. This is the disappointment of it all. The next one, I was angry because. What about it makes you angry now or made you angry in the relationship? So I'm going to skip to another one. Well, here's one. I was humiliated because. When you're humiliated, there's going to be pain and embarrassment attached to that. So what was the pain of the embarrassment that you went through? Maybe they humiliated you publicly. Maybe the way they talked to you humiliated you. Maybe the way they treated you humiliated you. This is on page 29, in case I didn't mention that. Now we're going to skip through. So here's one. You taught me. So chances are, most relationships are not all good or all bad. Some are, but there's a good chance that they taught you something. Maybe they taught you about money. Maybe they taught you about gardening. Maybe they taught you about animals or working hard. So if there was something good that they taught you, definitely want to give voice to that. And maybe they taught you how valuable you were by you finding the strength to finally leave. It could be anything. Just what did they teach you? Next one, I thought. What were you thinking before, during, and after the relationship? I hoped. What were you hoping? That's kind of attached to some of that disappointment, but what were you hoping in this relationship? Thank you for showing me blank. What did they show you? Again, that could be, thank you for showing me what I never want again, or thank you for showing me some of the good. Maybe they did things for you that were good that no one ever did for you, and you didn't realize how much that meant to you. So you can thank them for showing you some of that good, because now you know that you definitely want more of that. Another one, I will not miss. What are you not going to miss? Maybe the fighting, maybe the being left all the time, maybe being called names. What are you not going to miss from the relationship? Another one, I want you to know. If you could say anything to this person, which again, remember, we're not giving them this list or reading them this list. What do you want them to know? There's more writing prompts, but I'm just going to skip to the last sentence, which is, or last couple sentences. I'm hopeful for a better future for us both. I'm going to move on now. I'm committed to myself and to living, and I'm no longer committed to you or to this relationship. That's kind of like the final severing, because even though a relationship can end, even if you ended it, you could still very much be committed to that person and to the relationship, whether you're secretly or subconsciously hoping it's going to, revive itself somehow, or that person's going to come back, or you're going to be able to have another chance at it, whatever it is. But it's hard to just stop committing with no future commitment. And I think that's why a lot of people run out and get right into another relationship before they've healed. But what you can do is commit to yourself. You commit to learning, you commit to loving, you commit to healing, and you're no longer committed to that relationship or to that person. because it can almost feel like you're cheating if you entertain another person, even though you're broken up. So it's really important to give your brain that information. I'm not committed to them anymore, and I'm not committed to the relationship. And then in the end, you're asking them to take care, and you're going to sign your name, and then you're going to get rid of that letter. And it's amazing how that can really kind of flip a page in your brain. But you really don't just want to harp on them, and you don't just want to elevate them or put them on a pedestal. You kind of want to do the good and the bad and the ugly all in this letter, right? What you're forgiving them for, what you're thanking them for, what you're angry at them for, what you were hoping, what you're going to miss, what you're never going to miss, what you do not want anymore. So again, you can find all of this and more from my book, I Can't Believe How Much This Hurts. It's available on Amazon. The link and the course, there is a full course available on my website. That's also in the description. If you want to walk through the book with me through a full course, you can do that as well. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, there are videos that are going to be on the screen that you can go and keep watching to learn more about relational trauma. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.